Alright there folks, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's great to see you, it always is. I hope you're doing well. We're back on business today. Two new tournaments, one in Germany, one in Switzerland. I want to touch on these first round matches very shortly. Before we do, like the video if you would, get yourself subscribed to the channel if you're not. Appreciate it if you did. As always, first round innit? Just allow me to remind you, first round, if you're having a go today or tomorrow, just keep it easy, innit? Keep it simple, keep it sweet, don't be going crazy. I always say you've just got to see who wants to be here and who doesn't. And you don't need me to tell you, we're going to treat this as a nice little precursor going into the rolling Karus. So, we'll see what we can do. But now that's out the way, let's just get into these, innit? Oh, before we do, let me know, did you enjoy the final? Thought Sinner just had no answer for Carlos Alcaraz today. Say something about that. I think a lot of us had the over 2.5 sets, total games played. What can you say? Alcaraz just too good on the day, and I feel like he is the prime favourite to take this rolling Karus, if you'd ask me. I don't think no one's going to touch him on the clay. Carlos Alcaraz is playing 10 times or 50 times better than anyone else on this surface at the moment. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, we've got these two, and first off, we'll start off over in Geneva. We've got Karus and Fabian Marrison. I'm just going to speed run these as usual. Like I say, I'm not going to spend too much time ripping these apart. We'll save that for later into the week. But Karus, Fabian Marrison, these have never played each other before. I actually follow Karus on YouTube. Funny that, innit? Funny how things work, innit? Unfortunately, I do think there's just levels to this game. There is. Is this the first ATP main draw that Karus qualified for? I think I could be right in saying that. I think he posted a little something before, 30 years old. You just got your first main draw. Happy days. Happy days. You're a little bit older than 30, he's older than me. I just think Fabian Marrison beats him. I just do. 1.16, there you go. There's just levels, and Fabian Marrison's beating the likes of Rublev, Fonseca, Zizou, Bergs, Humbert. Karus just about getting past Pierre Hughes Herbert and Remy Bertola as well. So it'd be great. It'd be a fantastic spot to see him pull this one off. There's nothing to suggest that he will, unless you just want to have a punt on it, roll a dice. He is a massive dog. I imagine you'll get a really big spread with that. If anyone's brave enough to take Karus on the points, please do let me know. I don't think he wins. How Fabian Marrison is going to go about it, I'm not too sure. But we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens with that. And we'll move on to Dusan Lazovich, Jacob Fernley. Should be a good one, this. I'm a bit torn between the two. Getting Jacob Fernley as a dog here, only slightly. Now, you tell me, how did this open up? Because depending where you look, I've got Fernley as a favourite, I've got Lazovich as a favourite. It's just flipping. It's basically split down the middle. I've been impressed with Jacob Fernley. I have 7-4 on the clay. Dusan Lazovich 13-9 on the clay. Has he got all them wins from? When's he been winning these? Girona Challenger, Monte Carlo, 2 in Monte Carlo, 2 on the Challenger, 2 in Madrid, 3 over in Rome. Alright, fair enough. I think Dusan Lazovich beats Jacob Fernley. Look, it's obvious who's the more experienced. You'd probably say, dare I say, much more trustworthy on the clay. No, it just feels wrong even uttering those words when it comes to Dusan Lazovich. I just say Jacob Fernley is a dog. I think there's a higher ceiling to him, there's more upside. 19-11 on the season for Jacob Fernley, 17-7 for Dusan Lazovich. Jacob Fernley done a bit more damage over on the hard court at the start of the season, but he's been fairly decent on the clay too. Had a decent one against Berrettini. He hung in there. We had him on the points. he looked decent against Finini. He's got some good wins, man. Thomas Mahach, Boo, Hugo Delene, Kotov, Karbais, Baena. They're good. They're just as good as anyone else, if not better. Dusan Lazovich, I'm seeing Nishikori, Cam Nori, Ethan Quinn, Christian Garon, Terence, Blanchett. Decent. It's decent. I think Jacob Fernley's playing just as good, if not better, than the rest of all of them. So I don't know. You can tell me. Isn't Jacob Fernley losing straight sets? I don't know. I think you'll have a better go against someone like Dusan Lazovich than you would against, let's say, a Berrettini or a Dimitrov. Food for thought. Could be a good one. Could be a close one either way. I say it's split right down the middle. I don't know. While you're getting them as a dog there, I'd just take Jacob Fernley for a set. Either one of these for a set is an ideal parlay piece. I don't think I can separate the two by much. Either one for a set. If I was picking a winner just for the sake of a lean, I'd just lean towards Jacob Fernley. I would. He's younger. He's fitter. Playing just as good. Just as good. I mean, he's getting beat by like Pellegrino, Ethan Quinn, Romans. Oh, maybe not the Romans Fueling game. He had to pull out in that one. I feel like we've wasted too much time on it. One sec. Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll go with. I'll probably lean with Jacob Fernley. Either one for a set. If you're touching it, I'd approach that with severe caution though. I wouldn't be too shocked if Lazovich pulled that one off. Like I said, he probably is. The more trustworthy, even if it's just ever so slightly. But we'll move on to Nishikori, Lerner Tien. What you do with this? What do you do with this? I'm not so convinced Lerner Tien is that good over on the clay, as opposed to the hard court anyway. There's still time. Very, very small sample size to go off. 6 and 9 since 2021. 3 and 5 this year. 0 and 1 last year. I don't know. Maybe he just hasn't found what he's looking for, but I'd be willing to bet you that Lerner Tien is just not a clay court player. But neither's Nishikori. It's been quite some time since he's put in a fairly decent season on the clay. 2 and 2 this year, 5 and 3 last year. Didn't even play on it the year before. It's another one of them. You'd probably say Nishikori purely based off experience, but I don't know how much I trust him. I really don't. Same with Lerner Tien. I never know what I'm going to get. Never know. He's won 3 of his last 10 games. 2 of them were in qualifying for Munich. Henry Squire, Botic, Van der Sandschulp. And then he's just beat Riley Opelka over in Rome in the first round. Beat by Thomas Mahach. Beat on the Challenger Tour by this Gastone Elias. Yeah. Marcus Garon beat him. Griekspoor beat him. Alex Michelson's beat him. Fonseca, Navone. I wouldn't be surprised if either one won this. Nishikori last time out in Madrid didn't look too great. Everyone thought he was going to beat Chapo as a dog. Didn't stand a chance. 6-1, 6-4. I don't know. I don't really know what happens with this. I'd probably lean with Nishikori. I'm not picking that with much conviction. I've just seen more from him over the seasons. I know that there's a player there within Lerner Tien. I just haven't really seen him display what he's made of or what he's capable of on the clay so far. But like I said, there's still time. We are really dealing with a lot of the unknown when it comes to Lerner Tien on this surface. So I just approach that with severe caution if I was touching it. And then we'll crack on to Jami Munar and Quinton Hollis. Should be pretty self-explanatory, this one, right? Head to head is 1-0 to Quinton Hollis, and I'm pretty sure that was last year. It was. Vienna indoor hard court 6-1, and then a tiebreaker in qualifying. Safe to say, with it being on the clay, this one changes things. It quite drastically changes things for these two. Quentin Hollis has just been bang out of form, man. Don't know what's happening to him. He's not with it this year. 3 wins in his last 10. Carreño Buster, Sabo Filled, Bernabe, Zapata, Morales. Yeah, there's a name we haven't spoke about for quite some time. He's just not doing it. Jamy Müller did get to the round of 16. Over in Rome, getting beat by Casper Ruud, he took out Barry Vera, Ben Shelton, and Sebastian Corda. Both of them Americans in straight sets. We mentioned in the last one with Jamy Müller, we know he's a clay guy. He's technically made of clay. He's been a little bit better on the hard court than what he has on the clay so far this year, which is a bit of a surprise to me. 1.4 is that? 1.5? I do think Müller should be getting this one done. I'd say it against anyone. Pretty much if you were coming up against Quentin Hollis, I'd say the exact same thing. I mean, he's really struggling, man. 11 and 12 on the year. It's not as bad as some. 1 and 4 on the clay. Yeah. I think the writing's on the wall in this one. It really is Jamy Münar's to lose. You know me, I'm not really one to bet on this guy. And it's not impersonal. I just think he can be a bit streaky, a little bit inconsistent. Like he wins these games that you think he stands no chance, and just when you think you can begin to trust him, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, he's won 4 of his last 10. Tiafo, and then the ones I've just mentioned, he's been beat by Kamil Masharach, Altmaier, Kachanov, Batista Agu, Valentin Vachereau, and then obviously Casper Ruud. Yeah, 1.4 is a little bit steep for Jamy Müller. I think Quentin Hollis could turn up if he wanted to. These courts over in Switzerland, they do tend to be on the faster side of the clay, so that probably would suit someone like Quentin Hollis a little bit more than it normally would. But I wouldn't be going anywhere near him. Not today. We'll see how he turns up, see what he looks like. And we've got a few more for Switzerland, and then we'll hop on over to Germany real quick. So I've got Matteo Arnaldi, Hugo Gastone. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Wherever Hugo Gastone is involved or concerned, I am nowhere to be seen. I want no part of this. I wish them both the best of luck. I really do. It's got all the potential, all the makings to be a really good match. But not only do I not trust Hugo Gastone, he's coming up against a version of Matteo Arnaldi, who has just been beat by Batista Agu in Rome. And not only did he get beat, it was the way in which he got beat. We all remember it. We've all tried to forget it. We all probably did forget it until I've just mentioned this. 6-4, 6-3 to Batista Agu. I am not going anywhere near Matteo Arnaldi after that. I'm just going to have to sit and watch. Like I said, I don't touch these matches with Gastone anyway, but even if it was, Matteo Arnaldi is 1.35, and after he has just been slapped up by Batista Agu, I would be very, very concerned about taking him at that price. That's a very steep price. Hugo Gastone could very, very well beat this kid tomorrow. I would not be shocked. Maybe look at him on the points. Listen to me, I've just said I don't touch these Gastone games, and now I'm saying take him on the points. That's how bad Matteo Arnaldi was last time out. Realistically, he should be getting this one done. But I can't trust you. After that last time, so we'll see what happens with this one, and we will assess the situation in the next round. And who've we got here? Cam Nori, Dom Stricher. Excuse me. Yeah, Cam Nori, Dom Stricher. I think Cam Nori beats him. How much of Dom Stricher being in this tournament has got to do with the fact that he is Swiss, isn't he? Yeah, he's fucking Swiss. Cam Nori should be beating him. Dom Stricher's decent as well. He's not a bad player. He's quite young. Got a decent serve on him. Seems to be a little bit one-dimensional. Challenger player. Fairly decent challenger player. But there's just levels. There's always levels. He's getting beat. He's getting walloped by challenger tour players. Straight sets. Hooks. Kopajans. Maestrelli really had to pull out against Maestrelli. Thought Nori looked decent against Jensen Brooksby. That could have been a little bit of a banana peel for Cam Nori, but 6-4, 6-1. Easy. Jensen Brooksby tends to put in some decent tennis too. He's no joke on his day. Like I said, I think Cam Nori should just get this one done based on experience alone. 1.4. Why not? I mean, I can't see Cam Nori getting beat. He ain't been that good this season. He ain't been too great on the eye. Either I watch some of his games and it's like, he visibly does not look great majority of the time. 15 and 14 on the year, 8 and 5 on the clay. As opposed to Dom Stricker, 9 and 4 on the clay, 13 and 11 on the year. I imagine most of these wins would have been on the Challenger Tour. That's right. Yeah. Cam Nori, Dom Stricker. The experience over the unknown. I'd probably just take the experience of Cam Nori in this one. I think that should do you quite alright. Think Stricker pulls off the upset? I don't know. I know he's playing at home and all that, but that only matters so much, right? Yeah. Probably Cam Nori today. Like I said, first round. You haven't got to really pick these apart too much. Some of them, somewhat pick themselves, don't they? But we'll wrap this up over in Geneva with Martin Fuscs and Zizou Bergs. That's right. I haven't seen Zizou Bergs, it feels like forever. What happened to him? He had an absolute flyer, didn't he? He came out the blocks flying for the start of the season. Seems to have tailed off. I just haven't seen him as much come clay season. 19 and 11 on the year, 2 and 3 on the clay for Zizou Bergs. And he's an alright clay player as well. He's all terrain. Zizou Bergs, he's decent. Doesn't really matter where you get him. He's just got to turn up. Martin Fuscs, he is a former champion in this tournament, so very, very familiar with the surfaces. And he ain't done yet. He's been playing since 2008. Yeah, he had quite some time. And he's still going. He's fantastic as well. I mean, who did he beat last time out when I watched him? It was a while ago, I can't remember. It weren't in the Challenger, it may have been in Bucharest or something. Can't remember. Is it that one? O'Connell, quarterfinals probably, and then he got beat by Sebastian Baez in the semis. Yeah, would have been. I think Fuscs probably do this one. Like I said, I haven't seen Zizou Bergs for quite some time, since the first round in Madrid, and he got absolutely pasted by Gabe Diallo, 6-1, 6-2. And then the time before that was the quarterfinals in Munich, where he got beat by Fabian Marrison, also in straight sets. Been beat by Fabian Marrison twice in his last 10 games. Once in Monte Carlo in qualifying, and then a couple of weeks later over in Munich in the quarterfinals. Fuscs for a set. Anyone? Say it's a weird one, because I know Zizou Bergs turns up, he could definitely trouble, probably even beat Martin Fuscs. I wouldn't be surprised. I do know Fuscs, he is the crafty vet. I say the crafty veteran like he's... Well, yeah, let's just say the crafty vet. I think he can get it done. He should be able to trust him to get it done early doors in tournaments like this. He was decent over in Bucharest. He should be good to go in Geneva. We'll wait and see. We'll see what version of Zizou Bergs turns up. Either one for the set. If you're quite confident that Zizou Bergs is going to turn up and do it, then be my Christopher guest. He did beat him last year in the Bundesliga on the clay, 6-4, 5-7, and then 10-8. So, clearly more than capable of doing so. How serious they actually take that tournament, I could not tell you. But yeah, you let me know what you're doing on that. And then we will hop over to Germany really quick. These should be quick. A lot quicker than the last ones anyway, so we'll crack right on with it. First off, is that? Yeah, it is. Rafael Colinon and Binach. Probably sad with Nakashima, right? I don't think it'd be foolish to do so. Rafael Colinon, he's decent on the clay. We know this. 10 and 4 this year, 50 and 8 last year we've already spoke about that. 0-2 on the hard court this year, 10-4 on the clay, 9-3 indoors. You know, it is what it is. Say something about that. 5-6 on the clay for Binach. He's just a bit more trustworthy, although Colinon, solidified within that top 100 now, 86 in the world as opposed to 29 for Binach. They have played each other last year over on the Challenger Tour. That was on the indoor hard court, 6-3, 6-2. You guessed it, good old Binach. Around 1.7 here. 1.7? I think that's just a little bit disrespectful. Now Colinon could turn up and just smack Binach off the court. I'd be shocked if he did, but stranger things have happened. Their mods are a little bit close. A little bit closer than what I expected. We did see Binach last time out in the quarterfinals over in that Bordeaux Challenger, got beat by Nicholas Basilashvili. He's beaten Mikhail Kukushkin, Jordan Thompson, Kaboli, Sebastianov. He looked decent over in Madrid until he bumped into Medvedev, and he even looked decent against him too. He should be getting this done. He should be better. He should be, on the day, he should be better than Rafael Colinon. He has just won a title. The start halfway through April over on the Challenger Tour. Beat by Carlos Taberna in straight sets. Beat by Nicolas Moreno de Alvaran in qualifying for Rome in straight sets. Flew through qualifying for this in straight sets. Like I say, he's good. He's good, but maybe he just meets his match with Binach today. Maybe, like I've said a few times throughout the video, there's just levels. And maybe Brandon Nakashima is just 1 or 2 above Rafael Colinon at this point. And there's no shame if he is. There's really not. There's a lot of time, and I mean a lot of time, for Rafael Colinon. If you're going to trust him, you're probably going to trust him on the clay. But I'm not so sure he gets past someone like Nakashima. I'm really not. But we'll leave it at that. And we'll talk about this next one instead. We've got Marcus Garon. Roberto Batista Agut. That's right. And would you look at that, I've got Batista Agut as a favourite here. What are we doing? Depending where you look, it's just split down the middle. You're getting Marcus Garon, slight favourite, Batista Agut, slight favourite. I'm not going anywhere near it. Marcus Garon probably should beat Batista Agut. I say that he's played him twice before on the hard court in 2022. Both over the Summer Masters, Canada Masters in Cincinnati, straight sets to Batista Agut. He was in a lot better shape 3 years ago than what he is now. He's still hanging in there. He's still got a win or two in the bag, but it's just trying to predict who it's going to be against. It could most definitely be against someone like Marcus Garon. It could. Marcus Garon is just the type of player to beat Taylor Fritz in 2 tiebreakers over in Rome and then come here in Germany and just get walloped by Batista Agut. Like I said, we've seen what he done to Matteo Arnaldi. I think Marcus Garon slots into that category rather nicely. I do. Bookies can't even decide who wins this one. So you tell me. I won't be touching it. I'm here. I just can't go there with Batista Agut. I know the writing's on the wall with him, and like I said, he will get a win. He's not going to lose every game all season. He will get one. He may even get 2. It's just when. And I feel like at this point, if you go against Batista Agut and he ends up beating you, you just shit out of luck. And it hurts. It really does. But it is what it is. Approach it with severe caution. That's all I'm saying. Marcus Garon probably should get it done, but he's failed both times. And I wouldn't be surprised if he fails for a third, especially on the clay. So we will move on to Andrei Rublev. Damir Juma. Probably the quickest one of the day, folks. We will see if Andrei Rublev remains in the next round. He really should. Head to head is 5-0 to Rublev in this spot, if you believe that. Played each other quite a lot, like 10 years ago, 2015, 17, 17, 18, most recently 2023 on the clay. That going the way of Andrei Rublev, obviously. I think he should definitely make it 6. Definitely make it 6, but it's Andrei Rublev, folks. Everything we say, every time we talk about this guy, just repeat it in your head now, and then you do with that what you will. I would love to trust him. 1.2. Bit of a price to pay, is it not? Just a little bit of a price to pay for this guy to just completely ruin your day. I wouldn't put it past him. 4 wins in his last 10. Shelton, Monfils, De Jong, Monfils again. Shit against Bublik, and he was shit against Fabian Marrison. Well, he weren't shit against him, he just can't see it out. He just can't see it out. But he's miles better than Juma. Even on the clay, he's miles better than this guy. There's no doubt in my mind who should be winning this game, but should and will are two completely different things in it. I know who is the better player, but I don't know who's going to turn up. I could not tell you who's going to turn up today. So we'll move on to Bornagosho and Yili Lehechka once again. Probably another quick one. 1.4, 1.5 for Yili Lehechka. Really, really good price, but we all know why that is. Because he just can't win a fucking game to save his life. 3 of his last 10. 2 of them going back to like end of Feb. Doha and Dallas. Just in Doha. And then 1 on the clay against Sebastian Korda. He's been beat by Jack Draper, Humbert, Nori, Monfils, Musetti, Nori again, and then Alexander Müller. He's only beat Sebastian Korda since. He's went 1-3 on the clay, 14-9 on the season. That record was a lot better than that. Before he bumped into Jack Draper, I'll say that for sure. 13-9 for Bornagosho. He's touching on that Bornagosho match. Remember he played Ben Shelton? Was it Ben Shelton? And he nearly beat him, didn't he? He looked good. He's tricky, man. He's a bit of a sleeper. He looked good in qualifying. Straight sets, the 2 of them. Yili Lehechka's just not in form. I don't know what's up with him, whether he's injured, whether he's been cursed by the ring, or whether he's just got a fucking dementia just sucking all of the happiness out of him. I don't know what's happening with this guy. Is he fit? Yes or no? Yes, alright. Is he going to turn up? Is he going to be able to hold his nerve and play like the Lehechka that we know? I'm not so sure. I've been waiting for him to pull himself out of the shit for the past few months, and he just can't do it. It's a shame. It's such a crying shame. But will it ever stop? I don't know. 2-1 his last 3. It's not from lack of trying. It's really not. Musetti, alright, probably weren't going to beat him. Cam Nori, Alexander Müller. These are exactly the players that Yili Lehechka should be getting past, in my opinion. And he's not. He's really struggling. So at 1.5, I feel like that is begging me. Absolutely begging me to take Yili Lehechka today, but there's a reason. There's a reason you're getting such a good price like that. It really is. Bornagosho is no joke on the day. He could turn up and easily beat Yili Lehechka today in the current form that he's in. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We've got 3 more. Last 2 should be quick, well, so should this. We'll wrap this stuff up very, very shortly, folks. We're touching on 30 minutes now, so okay then. That Elias Ema, it's going to be Elias. It's not going to be Michael, is it? Good old Michael. Yeah, Elias Ema, Alexander Müller. Elias Ema's beat him 3 times. They played each other 3 times, and Ema's won all 3 of them on the Challenger Tour back in 2021. I think 2025 Alexander Müller is a lot better than 2025 Elias Ema, if you want my opinion. Look, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 5 in his last 10. Alexander Müller, that is. Yili Lehechka, David Goffin, Ugo Humbert, Ugo Carabelli, Hugo Delin, Look at the losses though. Tsitsipas, Big Foe, Zverev, Medvedev, Kamil Masvidal. I don't mind any of them. Kamil Masvidal, you'd probably go, okay, especially amongst the other three. But Medvedev, Zverev, and Tsitsipas, Big Foe. If they're the only ones that are going to beat you, you're going to beat Elias. Fuck what that head-to-head tells you. It's a new dawn. It really is. This is a different beast. It's a different version of Alexander Müller. It could just be one of them spots where you say, oh look, the head-to-head's the head-to-head. Maybe he just knows how to play against them. But I highly doubt Alexander Müller was playing this good back then. That's just my opinion. 1.35, 1.4 for Alexander Müller. He should get that one done. Elias barely got through qualifying. 3 sets in his 2 matches. Christopher O'Connell and then Marco Topo. Good old Marco Polo. I think Alexander Müller should be getting that one done, if you ask me. And then finishing us off, we've got Zverev, Kovacevic, Zverev all day. I think Zverev takes this title. I'm just looking at the draw here, and unless there's anyone I'm missing, I don't think there is, unless my eyes are playing tricks on me. I don't think anyone comes close to Zverev this week over in Germany. I don't. Like, who's it going to be? Sebastian Baez, Rublev, Tiafoe's the number 2 seed. Come on, Zverev should. Like, if he doesn't win this tournament, I say that. Is he going to go all out to win this 250 before the French Open? I wouldn't have thought so. So maybe that's something to keep in mind. But you have to agree, if there was nothing else riding on this for when the tournament finishes, you'd say Zverev smokes every one of these. If he had to play every single player in this draw, he'd beat every one of them. I know for a fact he would. Definitely beats Kovacevic 1.05. Kovacevic on the spread for the value, of course. If you're brave enough, approach it with caution. It is not wise to go against Zverev at home, even if it is just a 250. And then last but not least, we've got Jan-Lennard Struff and Justin Engel. This kid's 17 years younger than Struff. 17 years younger than him. Wow. 7-7 on the clay, Jan-Lennard Struff. 1-4 on the clay. 4-13 so far this season for Struff. If that doesn't tell you the story, then I don't know what does. He can't play. Bro can't play at the moment, and it's such a shame. Because just like you, I imagine, we're all quite big Struff fans. We like this guy. We've seen quite a lot of him over the years. He just ain't doing it, man. He just ain't got what it takes. Especially this season. I was going to say any more, but maybe that's a bit unfair. He's missing something. He's just missing something. It's like he plays without a fucking racket half the time. I don't know. Yeah. He's only beat Bottas van der Sandschulp in his last 10, and that was because he pulled out Kekmanovic, Tsitsipas, Cerundolo, Vassaro, Davidovich, Fokina, Fonseca, Monfils, Medvedev, Griekspoor. Every one of them. I've just walked them. Every one of them. Justin Engel. Big dog equals big spread. Big dog and a big spread against a big pussy like Jan-Lennard Struff in the current state that he's in. I just tell you to take it. I'll tell you to take the point with the dog and just sit and hope. There is nothing to suggest Jan-Lennard Struff is going to turn up and just win this one. Look, he's not going to lose every game. Playing the way he's playing, I wouldn't be surprised if he did lose every game, but it's just impossible, and like, he will win some. Games like this do tend to be somewhat of a layup for these players, but I don't know, man. I don't think it's cut and dry. I don't. Struff's been shit. Pure and simple. Say what you want. He's been garbage. He'd probably admit that himself. 16-13 for the youngster. 4-13 for Struff. There you go. Do what you want with that. I'm not going to waste any time, but I'm not going to waste any time trying to predict a win from a guy who visibly cannot fucking win games. It is what it is. 1-7 on the hard court, 1-4 on the clay, 2-2 indoors. Get in the bin, fucking slam dunk that in the trash. Go with Justin Engel on the points. Thank me later. Very well then, folks, that's going to do us a little bit longer than I anticipated, but it's the way it's got to be sometimes, especially for these early rounds. I'm just glad we can do them all in one take. I haven't got to keep stopping and starting anymore, and like, I haven't got to edit videos. I couldn't be asked if I had to edit this and that all the time, and I'm glad that we can just breeze through this in one take. I'm getting a lot better at these, especially compared to what I was when I first started. Fucking absolute stuttering mess. But anyway, folks, you take it easy, yeah? You take care of yourselves, you take care of one another, most importantly. Get yourself subscribed, like and subscribe, all that stuff. Appreciate those that do. Want to say big shout out to everyone who got themselves involved for the last couple of tournaments, or just for this season, as a matter of fact. And everyone who's been involved since the start, you know I see you. Appreciate you. You all mean a lot to me. I'm very, very grateful for each and every one of you. But get your best bets in. It's a new tournament, new slate. See who turns up. Wonder how this one's going to go. Doubt it can be any more trickier than that last one, the ATP Betfair Open over in fucking Rome. Well, yeah, let me know what you're going for, folks. Don't be shy. Share with the group. We all like winners. Very well. Let's go get that cash, yeah? You enjoy the matches today, and I will speak to you tomorrow.